I've been asked to comment a bit between the poems, and I don't like doing that very much, but I'll make an effort. And one thing I'll say is that I believe there's a big connection between poetry and film. And if I'm asked to define my poems, which is sometimes asked in interviews, the best I can come up with is imagistic narrative. So I want you to think of that when I read this poem. Because every time I read this to an audience, I see it as a little film. The Snowy Owl. Over the heads of the firing squad flew the snowy owl, who oohooed twice just before they pulled their triggers. And as the woman slumped on her ropes, blood splattering her white dress, the owl landed on her shoulder, oohooed again, and swiveled its big-eyed gaze over all the uniformed men, one of whom raised his rifle, but the captain knocked it away, while the owl pecked at some blood on the woman's breast, smearing its own breast feathers, then glared, it seemed, at the transfixed men, before swooping off, barely missing the head of one, making them all turn to watch it glide away, and hear one more oohoo echo through the sky. I'm getting more and more translated into different languages, and they all say the same. It's because, as one Latvian guy said to me, "Your poems are like little films. I want the people of Latvia to see these little films." So any of you people who read tonight, if you want to get translated, go towards the visual, go towards the film. Captured. Punching and kicking the tall man who held her off the ground, she kept her eyes on the fat man who made no sound, just sat there in the yellow chair under the African drum, staring at her, not smiling at her, as the tall man carried her to him, dumped her on the lion carpet, withdrew to the rocking chair, while a fat foot settled on a blonde head, gently for at most a minute, then withdrew, and a pudgy finger wiped away 2 tears and squeezed a nose before 2 plump hands crashed together. So the tall man rose, eased her to her feet, led her out through the carved mahogany door frame, past the stone vulture, the stained wood leopard, all of them and her lit by a moon that the glass made yellow, sick, cold, while behind her the shuffling feet, the gasped out breath of the fat man powered her forward to whatever she'd meet. I was doing a reading in May or June in the International School in Basel in Switzerland with 6th form students. And one girl put her hand up after the reading and she said, "Why are your poems, so many of them, so sinister?" And I said this answer. I said, if I was living in San Francisco in 1967, I would be not writing this kind of poetry. But a poet can only write the poems that is his or her response to the world that they live in.
Very good.
A few poems from the last book, Sanctuary. I was just saying, for some reason, all my books kind of connect, like they connect in pairs, and Black Moon is like holding hands with Sanctuary, which has nothing to do with the books before, or nothing to do with the poems I'm writing since. They always come along in twos. It's almost as if you do one book and you need the second one to finish it. Hair. I have a friend in Donegal who's a barber. He loves this poem. Imagine a rain of hair from all the barber shops in China falling on the world. Imagine the first clumps dropping softly on your face. Reach up and rub some between your fingers. But soon the ground is covered and hair keeps falling. And among the loose hair, pigtails, ponytails, wigs. And now blonde northern hair has joined the black and brown. Dog hair too, wool even, and you're brushing it into piles, but burnt it stinks to heaven, buried it comes back out, or that's what it looks like when more covers the graves. And now you're swallowing some, and it's snarling your guts, and your eyes are stinging, and it's filling up your nose. So grab a few handfuls, better still, cut your own off, braid it into a rope, and strangle yourself, then lie there till the hair dissolves your corpse.